this video I'm going to show you how to repair a dryer that's running but not drying. Recently my dryer stopped working. It would run, but it just wouldn't dry. Now what I'm going to show you is for a gas dryer. I don't have an electric dryer, so I don't know anything about them. Now I believe there may be 5 or 6 sensors on this dryer, but there's one that's very easy to get to, or 2 of them, so that's where I'm going to start. First thing I'm going to do is unplug the dryer and move it out so I can work on it. I'm also going to remove the dryer vent. I'm going to leave the gas line on because I'm going to be checking to see if the dryer fires up. Next I'm going to remove the back panel. There were 6 1/4-inch screws to remove on my panel. Be careful when removing this panel, it's very sharp. The sensor I'm going to check is the thermal fuse. First I'm going to remove these 2 plugs. Now I'm going straight to this part for 2 reasons. 1, it's the easiest to get to, and 2, there are several things that happened in the past that make me believe this may have gone out. At the end of the video I'll explain to you why I think this went out and how it can possibly save you thousands of dollars and maybe even your life. It's best to use a multimeter to check this, but after I use the multimeter I'll show you how to do it if you don't have one. I'm going to take my multimeter and turn it to the continuity setting. My multimeter has an alarm, so it makes it much easier to know whether it's got continuity or not. You can see here when I touch the 2 prongs together, you hear the alarm. Now I'm going to take the black probe and touch it to one of the plugs, and then take the red one and touch it to the other. You can see here I have no continuity, the alarm is not going. You see here I touched the screw and the body of the dryer and I had continuity. This tells me the sensor is bad. Now if you don't have a multimeter, there's another way you can check this. You can take a piece of wire and create a jumper. This will complete the circuit without having the fuse. You need to make sure the dryer is unplugged when you do this. Put one end of the wire into one of the plugs and then put the other end of the wire into the other plug. Once I had that connected, I'll plug the dryer in and turn it back on. After I turn the dryer on, I'll look through one of the vents for the burner. After about 20 seconds, you'll see the burner fire up, and we know that's the bad part. To change the fuse, I just have to take this screw out right here. I use a 1/4-inch nut driver to remove the screw. After I take it out, I'll check it one more time, and you can see there's nothing. Now I'll take the new fuse and check it, and I have continuity. Now I'll take the new one and install it. I ordered this fuse from Amazon, and it was 3 for $7. I'll leave a link for you in the description. Then I'll install the 2 plugs. That's what it should look like when you're done. Now I'll plug it back in, turn it on, and we'll see what happens. Here you can see the globe plug or the igniter glowing, and we didn't have that before. And there it fired up. Here you'll see there are a bunch of numbers on the bottom of the fuse, just under the plug. But the actual serial number is right here. The serial number is 3392519. Now after you change this, you shouldn't stop there. These are made to go out when things get too hot in the dryer. So if this was your problem and you change it, you need to check some other things as well. This usually means there's a buildup of lint in the dryer or your dryer exhaust vent is plugged up. My dryer started on fire a couple of years ago and the fuse didn't go out. The fact it went out this time makes me a little nervous, so I'll check everything out. Make sure after you change the thermal fuse, you check your dryer and make sure all the lint's cleaned out of it and the exhaust vent is clean as well. Now don't worry if you don't find any lint backups anywhere. These thermal fuses sometimes do go out. Consider the thermal fuse like the smoke detector of the dryer. It's like hearing a smoke detector go off in the middle of the night. You just don't go back to bed. You make sure and investigate to make sure there isn't a fire.